Hello, my name is Professor Sylvester Carl Henderson. I'm the CEO of Professor for Life Incorporated. And on Professor for Life Incorporated, I have the wonderful opportunity to interview academics and professionals from all over the globe. And today we are so excited to introduce and to interview Dr. Harry Hobbs, PhD, who's the Vice President of Employee Engagement for Huntsville Utility in Huntsville, Alabama. Welcome, Dr. Hobbs.
I'm speechless. Thank you, Professor.
Well, you know what? Dr. Hobbs is in Alabama, and I haven't been to Alabama for some time, so maybe I done made a new friend, and now I have a place to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Sure. Hobbs, could you introduce yourself to our digital media academic world? Tell us where you grew up, share your academic journey. I know you have 2 PhDs. One is a doctorate in business administration, and it's another PhD that you also obtained. And tell us where you went to college and, any other certifications and all that you have, because there are many.
Well, thank you. I'll try to capitalize that as best I can. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, in poverty. I was an abandoned child that grew up with my grandmother's maternal side of the house. My mother was severely ill, so my grandmother raised me. Multiracial, white father, black mother, but I fully identify with the African American community. That's my experience, and I realized early that I probably would be a pretty good soldier. Was in the Boy Scouts, made Eagle Scout, one of the first of color Eagle Scouts in Louisville, Kentucky. We grew up in a rural area outside of Louisville. And so I had a knack for the military, if you will, and camping and doing those type of things. Also, the YMCA helped hone me early. And I joined the military at 17, was blessed enough to travel around the world for 30 years, survived a couple combat zones, met my wife early in my military career walk. We've been together almost 45 years, raised 2 children, and just was blessed enough to have multiple opportunities to obtain education. When I was 37, I obtained my first doctorate degree in human resources management through the military. They had a program that was somewhat fast-tracked that the military paid for out of Pacific Western, out of Hawaii. So once I obtained that PhD, it put me in the military education track. And so I was put in several assignments where I was in charge of leadership development, and I have taught at every level of the Army education system. And I feel very privileged because to this day, I'm the only warrant officer in the history of the Army to have taught at every education level of the warrant officer development system. So I was blessed enough to retire as a CW5, which is the equivalent rank in respect of a full colonel. Was enlisted 10 years, went to school at night to obtain my associate, bachelor's. I got my master's at Murray State, Kentucky. Woo woo. Okay. And then was able to retire here in Rocket City. My final assignment, I was the senior missile systems guy in the Army. Over all training and assignments. So that was my pinnacle assignment. And also previous to that, I was a commander of the only radar school in the Army that was in Oklahoma, teaching allies, enlisted, and officers. So came here for my last assignment, and I checked out of the Army here and became a high school teacher. But wow. I was always a professor at night since 2002. So a professor at night for, almost 20 years at different colleges. And so became a high school teacher here. And I was a professor at night for Florida Institute of Technology, Tier 1 college, great reputation for publishing articles, things of that nature. So I was teaching there for a number of years. And then they got their first doctorate program there. I was already a grad instructor, and so that 30-year military career also provided me the opportunity to purchase to pay for another doctorate degree. So I went on that journey at 57 at 54, and so got a doctorate, and my second doctorate at 57. So got one at 37, got one at 57. So I don't know what's going to happen at 77 or 87. But I always felt Professor Henderson, because of the way I was raised in poverty, didn't have a lot of opportunities. My grandparents did the best they could, that I'm not going to leave anything on the table. And if I have an opportunity to expand my horizon, then I'm going to do that. And during that time, as I was pursuing more education, I became spokesman of the police department, and I still teach at the police academy every session that comes through on how to interact with civilians and how to de-escalate situations. And then after 4 years of being a spokesman for the police department, the utility company asked me to come be their spokesperson. So I did that for 3 years. And then when I finished my doctorate, Florida Institute of Technology wanted me to come to their college to be their dean at their site here in Huntsville. So I was the dean of academic studies there for Florida Institute of Technology for about 1.5 years. And then Huntsville Utilities reached out again, and they had their first ever vice president of employee engagement, although I call myself the vice president of entertainment and excitement.
Okay, all right.
And they opened this up, did a worldwide search, and I was blessed enough to interview with over 65 folks, and I've had this job for now over 7 years. The first of color vice president in the history of this 85-year-old foundational company. And if you may have heard of Huntsville, Alabama, very atypical to Alabama, here in North Alabama, Madison, as you know, we're booming here. Space Force, Space Command, I'll tease you, Space Ghost, we have large organizations here, Meta, Facebook, Toyota, different projects here. We're now the largest city in the state of Alabama. And so a lot of power needs, gas, water, electric, and fiber. And so part of my job is to recruit folks, and I'm over the apprenticeship training programs to get them trained. So my job allows me to still be that curriculum manager and professor. And then along the way, I've built the internal leadership development program that we call Huntsville Utility Leadership Academy, HULA, H-U-L-A, Leadership Academy. Don't make me dance. And we got a level 1 and a level 2. And so I just feel at this point I'm in my wheelhouse of making sure that we're a diverse company, we're well trained, and my CEO allows me to work at 2 different state level jobs appointed by Governor Ivey. One of those jobs is I'm a commissioner for the Alabama Commission on Higher Education, which I have to pinch myself that I get to sit in that room and have oversight of all curriculum and where the funds go in the state of Alabama. And then the other board that I'm on is the State Workforce Board, Alabama Workforce Board, where I help build jobs. So those two kind of work together, where I can help build the jobs and then the education and the certifications to meet those jobs, to get real wage paying jobs so you can grow a family and have security and build a retirement. And some of the certifications I have along the way is from Cornell University, a diversity and inclusion certificate, project management as well, a SHRM, senior SHRM, and the 2 doctorate degrees. And so still reading a lot of articles, still writing a lot of articles. And I'm just humbled to play some small part here in the company and in the community.
All I can say is amazing. You have had such an impressive career, and you're such a humble professional. You have, when I was looking at your professional Vita experiences on LinkedIn, there were so many different designations. I didn't even know where to start. So I am grateful to have had the opportunity, and thank you. Just for clarification, I know you received your doctorate of business administration from Florida State University.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And
Florida Institute of Technology.
Florida Institute of Technology. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you received your PhD. Was it from Murray State University?
No, Pacific Western. That was a military college that had a relationship with the military.
And that was in human resources.
Human resources management. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. You have had so much experience. I wish that we could have hired you as the chancellor of the Calhoun Community College system. You know, you certainly would have been a great candidate. But I'm sure maybe it's not too late. You know what?
Recently got an offer from A&M for a department, but I told them, thank you. I can give you a couple of gratis classes, but I'm good.
Okay, wow. You know, since you've had such an impressive career spanning leadership, education, and community service, how have these experiences shaped your approach to employee engagement at Huntsville Utility?
Well, that's a great question. And it may sound corny, but it makes me more empathetic, more sympathetic, more understanding the hurdles that people have to overcome to even get employed. And then one of the biggest things is access to information, as you know, Professor Henderson. We have communities that just simply are not informed.
That's right.
And so one of the things I try to do in this community is awareness campaigns. And I think you know about a foundation my wife and I built about 15 years ago where we give about 1,000 kids book bags and school supplies every year. Community Awareness for Youth. That'll happen this July. I collaborate with one of the colleges where I got my first degree, Calhoun College, best 2-year college in the state of Alabama, where they let me use their grounds to bring together, around 50 to 75 sponsors that inform youth about educations in the 4 pillars of success: health, education, careers, and finances. We provide free lunch. Then we have some interactive giveaways, gift cards. We have key leaders, the mayor and other folks come to kind of encourage the community. We let the politics go. It's a kumbaya moment. And then the pinnacle is we give away free book bags and school supplies, and we make sure kids get to network. So my company supports that, and several other companies. So I look at myself as a bridge builder and a liaison, because I'm only here by the grace of God and standing on the shoulders of others and the many, many diverse people that invested in me. You know, key Black leaders, key white leaders, key Asian leaders throughout my career. And so to be in that space, which has been vilified, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, what I did, Professor Henderson, is one of my duties is culture, is I rebranded it to cultural awareness and inclusion.
I like that.
And I have a workforce culture analyst where DEI might have been compliance. This is fully voluntarism. We offer you a chance to learn more about inclusion and culture and how to get along with different people and also the different generations. My second doctorate was on generations in the workspace and retaining millennials long term. So I use my experience as a biracial man growing up in the middle of the color line in racism, along with my education background, to try to bring people together.
Wow. That is, I really enjoyed your, especially all of your comments, but especially the one about your program for your new program, Cultural Awareness and Inclusion, because that has been, DEI has been such a controversial conversation nationwide because of, the conservatives versus the liberals, in terms of Republican versus Democrats. And so in California, living in a liberal state, but understanding how other countries, how other states view DEI, I've always said that a law cannot designate what you do. A law just kind of gives you the opportunity to perhaps redefine or recodify what you say and how you say it. So I appreciate that, because there are ways of promoting equality in such a fine way that we spend so much, especially in California, we spend so much emphasis on DEI, which is a good thing. But sometimes what happens, we spend so much time fighting, trying to take our designation and make sure that it's everyone's designation, instead of trying to find an effective route to simply go around and simply honor the law simultaneously. Now, some people may want to beat me up for saying that, but I believe that there are effective ways by which you can complete your ingredients of DEI, perhaps using different languages.
Oh, without a doubt. And I try to get folks to see it's not about black or white. It's about treating people right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Listen, Dr. Hobbs, in your role, how do you define employee engagement, and what strategies have you found most effective in fostering it across a diverse workforce?
Well, in the job I have, we have almost 900 employees. We don't have a union. If we were a union, I'd be the union rep.
Okay.
But we kind of operate like a union, because I have semi-annual focus groups with all key leaders. I have about seven different platforms to gain information and data, and then get quick wins if I can, or long-term commitment to get things done. So we have semi-annual focus group meetings. I have an open door policy. I have old school suggestion boxes in every building. I have a digital suggestion box. You can call, you don't call Ghostbusters, you call me. Everyone has my telephone number. We have employee level meetings as well. And then we have our annual pulse survey. And then I get feedback from the two leadership development classes, Hula, Basic Hula, and Advanced Hula. And then also we have a cohort workforce committee on culture and inclusion that every department has a chance to be represented. And so with all these different venues and platforms, we have really come a long way for our employees to realize, regardless of race, creed, color, or religion, your voice is heard, actions will occur, follow-ups will occur in a decent real time. And then we celebrate that by making folks aware of it on our monitoring systems, our intranet. And so it's exciting, because when I got here, pretty much none of that existed.
Wow.
But they were a successful company.
Okay.
They were, but we can't just keep doing the same old things. But they weren't as diverse, not only in color and demographics, they weren't as diverse in education and weren't as diverse in experience as they are now, because of the different platforms that everyone can buy into. But I guarantee you, when I first rolled out these programs, I got a little resistance, shockingly.
I can understand. People are generally agents of doing the same thing. Most people in all organizations, once they become comfortable with something, they generally want to ride it out. Being in the faith community, I know that well.
Yes.
Huntsville Utility serves a growing and evolving community. How do you ensure that employee engagement initiatives align with both organizational goals and community needs?
Well, we have, as you know, we're on a municipality. So we have two boards, gas and water board, and we have an electric board, and we answer to the city council leaders and the mayor. We know what their mission, vision, and goals are. They know what our mission, vision, and goals are. We strategize together, just like anyone that has read any newspaper will realize in the last 5 years. And yeah, I got to brag about North Alabama, atypical to Alabama. If you want to find real Alabama, go 40 miles in any direction, but I digress. It is one of the most highly educated, income receiving communities anywhere in this world outside of Silicon Valley or Washington, D.C. Because of government defense, because of the growth in this community, and because everyone knows about Alabama and the low crime rate and the great education, public education as well as private education. People are flocking here. And so we have a wide aperture. When jobs are open, we reach out to historical Black colleges and universities. We reach out to church groups. We have community forums. But here's what I always tell folks. I'm not dropping the standard for you. I'm just making sure you have the information so you can meet the standard.
That's right. Wow. Thank you for that. Dr. Hobbs, you've earned both a PhD and a DBA, along with multi-professional certifications, certifications, I should say. How has your academic background influenced your leadership style and decision making?
Well, I would tell anyone that is highly educated that you were just fortunate. You had an opportunity. Anybody could do it if they wanted to. So don't think too highly of yourself. Number one. But if you have all that education, is it just something you're hanging on the wall, or are you putting it into action?
That's right.
Are you leading by example? Are you bringing real data and rational thought and calmness to a situation, which academic should? Are you just staring the pot and beating your chest because you have a lot of certifications? So that's important. Now, how has it changed my thinking? It hasn't changed my core values. I came with my core values. It's strengthened my core values because my core values is in Christ, the Trinity, and my belief system, as well as, I'm always going to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent, because I'm a Boy Scout at heart. And so I have just kind of meshed all that together, because what I tell folks is, I've had a variety of jobs, haven't been fired anywhere, and I still walk through the front door of all of them, that people hopefully are hiring me on my integrity and my rational, fair thought.
That's a positive and a wonderful legacy that you've left, your integrity and your rational thought and your fairness, I may ask, as it relates to various people and roles. What role does communication play in building trust and morale among employees? And how do you personally ensure transparency within the organization?
Great questions. Communication, that's 101. If you don't get that down, you can't move anywhere. And as you know, Stephen Covey, the speed of trust, when you build trust, doing business in a company is fast. If there is no trust, business is slow, you're inefficient. So one of the first things that I do when I meet my new direct reports, I know they're gonna Google me. I've been in this community for a little while, but I let them know right up front that they have the ability to call me on anything, respectfully. I'm empowering you to do that, and I share my values. I want them to share their values. I like to do a book study with them. I normally use Speed of Trust, Stephen Covey, and there's other leadership books that I use, and sometimes I have an outside consultant come in, because see, Professor Henderson, we need to bond up front. You need to know, we need to take time to get to know each other So there can be a respect level when things get tense, because they get tense sometimes here in the utility space, not like the Army, nobody's jumping in on us, but resources are limited sometimes. There are different projects that have to get completed. We're in the public eye all the time, because what is your second or third largest bill the rest of your life? Utilities.
That's right.
And so we have to answer to the ratepayers. So communication is critical within, internal, as well as external, and it has to be done respectfully. I have my leadership principles on the wall that you can't see right here, with my mission, vision, and goals, and my leadership principles. And I ask people to hold me to that. You know, I want to lead by example. And then hopefully I want to encourage my other C-suite leaders to do that as well. Now, I'm not saying I walk on water or I'm perfect, but I'm going to own my mistakes. If it's good, my direct reports did it. If it's bad, bad project management on my part. And then the other thing is, when I walk in here, I'm going to be besides the well-dressed, best well-dressed, I'm going to be the happiest, I'm going to be the kindest, and I'm going to be the most present person in this company, because I am in employee engagement. It starts with me, and that's the least I can do.
Wow. Wow. Looking ahead, what trends or challenges do you foresee in employee engagement, and how is Huntsville Utility preparing to address them?
Well, I think some of the challenges that we're going to see, and we're seeing them already, because whatever's happening on the outside comes to the inside, is the political divide. You know, we're primarily in a red state, but one thing I will say about Madison County, North Alabama, we're civil. There's civility with Republicans and Democrats here, because we're quasi-government, right? Municipality. And we have a great Mayor Tommy Battle, that works well with both sides of the aisle. Personally, I'm on state committees from Governor Ivey, and I'm on local Democratic boards as well. I just try to carry myself to be the person you want in the room with a rational answer, and I keep my politics to myself. But I think just getting people to understand, don't bring your politics to work, okay? And everybody doesn't have to look or sound like you to be part of this company. Because historically, we know in the utility space, white, Caucasian, rural-raised males have migrated to this job, which is nothing wrong with it. But Professor Henderson, we're three companies in one. We're a construction company, okay? Go up a pole, get in the hole, rain, sleet, or snow, 24/7, 365, okay? That's got to restore gas, water, electric, and fiber, okay? And then also we're an administrative company, whether it's accounting, whether you're some type of supply technician. And then we're professionals. We got PEs, DBAs, PhDs, accounting professionals. And so keeping that in mind, equity-wise, one of the things that I have to do is ensure through my different platforms to know everybody's job is important. Whether you work in my facilities department and sweeping the floor, or whether you are restoring electricity in the middle of a storm, it takes us all. And so, in different walks of life, because we can't keep going back to the same fishing hole and thinking that we're going to get those same folks, because generations think different. Education has changed things. Technology has changed things. So we're going to have to be more agile in the way that we recruit and making sure more people have access to the information.
Wow. I have two more questions for you, Dr. Hobbs. And the first question is, oh my God, you have accomplished and given us so many wonderful jewels this early morning, afternoon, where you're at. I'm just curious, what other more professional goals do you have for yourself as a professional? Or do you see yourself now more as a person still obtaining more knowledge or in a more mentorship role?
Well, thank you for that question. I hope to write more. I published in 2023 A Flawed Man's Plans in God's Hands. It's on Amazon. My wife and I. I want to publish another book about, but not now because I'm in it, about living in the middle of the color line in America.
Oh, wow.
And then how to survive corporate America with all of its politics, that black and white crucible that's always going to be in the conversation, and just my experiences of how I navigated that. And I'm going to continue to read books of how to be a thought leader, of course, my belief system, different books within my faith, because I don't think learning ever stops. I want to be that person, lifelong learner. And I'm not the smartest person in the room. If I'm the smartest person in the room, something's wrong. Even if I got my grandkids in the room, I'm not the smartest person in the room. Now, I hope I add something to the fight. Don't get me wrong, but just to keep an open mind, to learn from others. And yes, I mentor others, many others, but I get just as much from those relationships as I give.
Wow.
And so that's where I'm at in life. I'm just trying to get better every day, keep it humble and keep it moving.
Wow. Dr. Harry Hobbs, are there any final thoughts and ideas you would like to communicate with our audience?
Well, I would just tell you, for me, it's my faith in Jesus Christ. It was my grandmother that I got to get her attention.
Oh, I like that.
She watches me every day.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a little bit of a Prince thing going on back then, but anyway.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But my grandmother, who survived many, many difficult things, as well as my grandfather, I stand on their shoulders. They give me the strength that I need. My genealogy gives me the strength. I would encourage anybody, especially people of color, to do that. I track my genealogy to my great grandfather and the ship he came in on, and those type of things. And then I see that I get to come from sit in the boardroom, and they couldn't even get in the basement.
That's right.
So those type of things, ground me and inspire me every day. And in my faith in Christ, that it doesn't cost you anything to be kind to others. It don't cost you anything. And just, if you got these positions, use them for good, not bad.
Wow. Dr. Hobbs, I have had the opportunity to interview academics and professionals as far as Switzerland, down to little country cities in the United States. But it has truly been an honor of mine to hear your answers and to just gently understand your story and your accomplishments. As the CEO of this podcast and company, I want to thank you dearly from my heart for taking the time out of your schedule to allow me to ask you questions. I mean, you were so inspiring to me. I thought to myself, I need to sell all my real estate and move to Huntsville, Alabama. I said, because the people there are really nice. I live in a county in Stockton called San Joaquin County, which is an agricultural sort of rural area. And I really, really enjoy it and love it a lot. One of my biggest dreams in life was to work really, really hard, retire, buy a big old mansion again, and then retire, with 2 or 3 acres around cows and trees and what have you. But just engaging with you have brought me and kind of developed an inquiry. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a Southwest airline ticket to Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
But in the meantime, I do want to thank you for your kindness, your wisdom, because you are a precious person to the community, your family, and most certainly you are a precious man to me in my heart. God bless you, and we'll be talking with you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.